Welcome to this channel. My name is Omolade Adeyemi. I am the CEO of Lariche Designs. If you are new to this channel, you need to subscribe to this channel because on this particular platform, what will be taking you is basically pattern drafting, how to draft your pattern. In today's training, we are going to teach you how to draft a basic skirt pattern. This is the skirt I'm talking about. This is our basic skirt. Look at it from the front. So I'm turning for you to see the back. This is the back, and we have a bum contouring part here and the zip section. So let's get started. This training is going to be divided into 5 sections. We are going to teach you how to take your skirt measurements, how to draft it on pattern, how to draft your basic skirt, how to cut your drafting, how to cut your pattern on fabric, and how to sew it. And our days of training will be Monday and Tuesday, while our flashback is going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Our live chat is going to be every Saturday. Stay tuned on how we achieve this beautiful skirt. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to comment and extend your love to us by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. Thank you. Hello, my name is Adeyemi Omolade. I'm the CEO of Lariche Designs. So the next steps in becoming a professional designer is on how to cut your basic skirt pattern. You know, the last time we did the drafting, we drafted it out, and today we are going to cut it out. So watch the way we cut out our basic skirt pattern. So let's start with the front. This is our front pattern. This is the one we drafted previous days ago. So this is the front pattern. I've labeled it very well. This is the upper pattern. This is the neckline. And like I said, then I said my skirt length is 26, and the knee line here I drafted is 21. So I'm going to add extra allowance down here, which is I'm going to add 5-inch extra allowance, 5 inches extra allowance, plus the sewing. You might decide to use 1 inch for the sewing allowance for this down part, or you might decide to use 1.5. But for me, I'm using 1.5, and I'm doing 25 inches. I'm adding 5 inches to make my length, and I'm adding 1.5 inches for the allowance. So making 6.5 that I'm going to add at the down part of my pattern. So stay tuned. So I'm trying to place my material very well. Trying to place it very well, and I hope this should be more than enough for my allowance. It should be more than enough. You try and measure. If you have more than what you want, this is more than, and I don't want to waste materials. And note, you are not allowed to use this self edge while cutting. You have to chop this off, the self edge off while cutting. So I'm doing that now. Let me chop off the self edge because it doesn't fit, it doesn't suit you. By the time you started sewing and customers start seeing the self edge, most of the time customers get angry. Why, if they see this at the down or at the edge or anywhere near their style? So mostly I chop it off. So I chop it off most of the time. So now I measure. So what I need here now is 6.5. The down part, I need 6.5. This down part. So I need 6.5 to make it straight. I'm picking my pins to pin it down. So for pattern drafter who doesn't use pin, it's a no. So we consume pins most of the time. So I'm pinning it down. Pinning it down. So remember, this skirt is the basic skirt, and we're doing a skirt without lining. It's without lining. So try and make sure your skirt and the material and your fabric is the same. Try and make sure your pattern and the material is the same. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to add my allowance. You know, the one I did is for the down part, and I'm going to add allowance, my sewing allowance for the upper part and the side. So for the upper part, I'm going to use 1/2 inch for the upper part. So make sure your half is no more than half. So for the sides, since I'm making a skirt without lining, so I don't need to add much allowance. So you can add 1/2 inch, you can add 1 inch, but for me I'm adding 1 inch for my sewing allowance on the side. See it's clear. I hope it's clear enough. Most of the time what I do when I get to this point, I always apply something. I always do something when I get to this point. When I get to this point and I realize I wasn't able to go straight, is that I use my ruler and mark this down, or I take my measurement tape, and measure what I have here from here to this part. As you can see, I have 9.5, and I'll measure 9.5 down to the length of my fabric. 9.5. I measure 9.5 down to the length of my fabric. Before adding my 1-inch allowance. So then I had my 1-inch allowance. So my skirt is ready for cut. But I want us to note another thing. Let me chip in this. You don't really, if you don't really want your skirt to be that snatch on your body, and you want it to be free a little from this part down to the length of your skirt, you want it to be a little free, you can come here, add 1/4 of an inch, or you add, it depends on how free you want it to be, or you add 1/2 inch to it, then you trace it down to this part of your body, to this part, not to the hip points, but towards, before we get to the hip points, it's like this. You go through this, you shape it this way, then you measure what you have from this place to this side of your foot. Now we have 10 inches. So you now measure 10 inches, you measure 10 inches, you measure 10 inches down to the length of your fabric, the way I did this, before adding your sewing allowance. But if you want it to be exactly the way you want it to be, like a snatch skirt on your body, you leave it this way and add your allowance. So I think I don't want it to be too free on me. I want it to be so snatched on me. So I had 1 inch. I'm not freeing it. I'm cutting. So see the way I cut. So you can see the shape, you can see the curvy shape, you can see the shape. So that's all about your skirt. So let me try and shape in this part very well. So that's for the front pattern. So let's move to the back pattern. Hold on, please hold on. In case you don't know, we have an online fashion institute. We are going to teach you full pattern drafting training. We are going to take you from the scratch, how to use your machine, to the climax. You're going to be the best designers in town. For more information, visit our website on www.larichedesigns.com. Yeah, I'm pinning the back pattern down to my fabric, back on my fabric. So that's why I told you earlier that we use a lot of pin. I try and hold it down. Pin it down. So the next thing I'm going to do, like I did for the front pattern, I'm going to add 6.5 as the length, 5 inches to complete my length, and 1.5 inch for the sewing allowance. So that's 6.5. So I use my ruler to straighten that out. Don't mind that chop. At the end of it, try and wash it before you use. So let me start with the back allowance. For the back allowance, I'm going to have my zip allowance, which is 1 inch. So I trace that 1 inch out, following the shape you have on your pattern. While adding allowance to this part, so that you won't have bulginess at the back of your skirts, which is the bum part. So from here, you now start the remaining 1 inch from here. You know, we added 1 inch from this part, from this cut out. Then you continue your 1 inch from here, from where the 1 inch stops, from where this 1 inch ends, which is here. Then you continue your 1 inch from there out. So for you now to have a straight line at the back here, you come here, you measure what you have from here to where you mark your chocolate, which is I have ½ inch. So I'll mark ½ inch down to the length of my skirt. So before I continue that, for me to have my straight line, I need to come here and go straight down. Then I'll continue adding my ½ inch. So the next thing is for the upper part, I'm also adding ½ inch, like I did for the front. I'm adding ½ inch, ½ inch, ½ inch, ½ inch, and I'm adding 1 inch to the side seam. For the side seam, sorry. The next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to mark a straight line from this point to this point. I have 10 and a half, so I'm going to mark 10 and a half. I measure from here to this straight line, so not to this line, so I have 10 and a half. So I'm going to measure 10 and a half down to the length of my fabric. Mind you, this is before adding allowance, so then I'm adding my seam allowance. So the next thing is to cut. So I'm cutting. So look carefully the way I cut the back. So that point, the 1 inch point, I should mark this. That's all about the basic skirt cutting. The basic skirt cutting. So this is the front and this is the back. So watch me and see the way I sew them.